Year 1, my name is Mrs. Francis and welcome to the first of your online English lessons with me for the next few weeks or few sessions. Now, like I said, my name is Mrs. Francis and I work as part of the Hamwick Education Trust. And as part of my job, I work with lots and lots of different teachers across lots of different schools in the trust. So perhaps you might have seen me in your school working with some of your teachers. But for now, my job is to be your online English teacher for the next few weeks, which is very exciting. And over the next few sessions together, we're going to be exploring lots of really exciting books, some of my favourite books, and we're going to be doing some really exciting activities to support you with your reading and your writing while you're at home, okay? So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen, and I'll do this at the beginning of every session. I will show you exactly what it is that you will need for the session, okay? So in a moment, I'll give you a chance to go and get those bits and pieces. So the first thing that you need to make sure that you have got is somewhere comfortable to sit. So it might be that you've got a chair to sit on, which is great. If you've got a chair and a table to work at, that's brilliant. Or if you're just on the floor, that's fine too, as long as you've got something that you can lean on when you come to do your writing, okay? So something hard to lean on if you're sitting on the floor. But the most important thing is that you've got somewhere comfortable to sit. The next thing that you need is to make sure that you've got your watching eyes, okay, so that you're ready to look really carefully at the screen and have a look at what the activities are. And you need your listening ears, so you need to be listening really carefully to the instructions and listening when I'm reading the story and telling you your activities that you're going to be doing. The next thing you might need to go away and get in a minute, which is something to write with, so a pen or a pencil. There's a picture of a pen and a pencil there, but you don't need both, you just need one of them, a pen or a pencil, and something to write on, like some paper, okay? Now, it might be that, like me, you've got a little whiteboard and a whiteboard pen. If you want to use that, that's fine too, but you don't have to have that. You can just have a pencil and some paper. And then right at the bottom, you can see that there's two little speech bubbles there. And that just means that you're going to need to do some talking as well, okay? So most of the time, you might just be talking to me. So I might ask you a question and you'll need to pause the video and tell me your answer. But it might be that some of you have got a brother or a sister working with you, or you might have a grown-up working with you. And if that's the case, then you can talk to them as well, and you can tell them your answers and talk to them when you need to. But don't worry if you haven't got anyone with you, because I'm here, okay? So if you haven't got anybody to talk to at home for the activities, then you can just talk to me, okay? So what you can do now is you need to work out how you're going to pause the video, okay? So in a moment, I'll give you some time. You can pause the video while you go and make sure you've got everything you need. So you make sure you're sitting somewhere comfortably and you've got your pen or pencil and your paper to write on, okay? So pause the video and then press play once you are ready to get going, okay? Off you go. Right. Hopefully you've got everything you need, okay? Have you got your pen or your pencil and something to write on, like some paper? Yeah, brilliant. Okay, the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to warm up our brains. And the way that we're going to do that is we are going to play a quick game. And the game has disappeared from my computer. So I've got to get it up very quickly. And the game that we're going to play is to do with our high frequency words. Okay, so let me share my screen now. And high frequency words are words that we see quite often in our reading. So we see them all the time in our reading. And because we see them so often, we need to know and be able to recognize them really quickly, okay? So they might not necessarily they're not all words that you can necessarily sound out very easily, but they're words that we need to be able to recognize really quickly. And this game is called the dinosaur egg game. You might have played this in school with your teachers maybe. And in a moment, you're going to hear a voice that isn't mine. Okay, so I'm going to click on a button in a minute, and then a voice is going to say a word. So listen really carefully to that word, and then I will give you the instructions for the next part of the game. Okay, are you ready?
Were.
Okay, did you hear that? So the person said
Were.
Were. So the way this game works is you're going to listen to the word and then you're going to point and tell me which word on your screen is the one that you have just heard being said. Okay, so let's listen again.
Were.
Were. Now what you're going to do is you're going to sound out, you're going to read out the words on your screen and you're going to tell me which one is the right one. Okay, so can you read this first word for me? Well done. Were. And the second word here, mum. And the third word, way. So which word was it?
Were.
So we need to click on which egg. Point to which egg I need to click on. Excellent, this one here. And if we're right, there'll be a little dinosaur in it. There he is, brilliant. And can you see we've got a point on the side there? The little saber-toothed tiger came and he scratched the tree, which shows that we've got one right. Okay, so now that you know how to play, we should be able to do the next few much quicker. Okay, ready to listen for the word?
One. One.
The word is one. So do the same again. We're going to read each egg and then you point to which one you think it is. So the word is?
One.
Okay, so read that first word for me. Little. Is that the right egg? No. Let's read the second word. Up. Is that the right egg? And the final one?
One.
Is the word one. Well done. Let's click on that one. Let's check. Brilliant job. Well done. Next one. Ready to listen?
Do. Do.
Okay, can you tell me which word I need to click on? Can you point? Do. Okay, that first word there, what does that one say? And what does the second one say? Oh, begins with a g, go. And this third word is a long word. Should we sound it out? Different.
Do.
So we need to click on that first one, don't we? Okay, next one.
Children.
Which word says children? There's a clue there, isn't there? We can look for the ch. Can you see which word has a ch at the beginning? First word here is the, so it's not that one. Which of these words here has a ch at the beginning? Excellent. So we've got children here. And what's this last word here? Came. So we're going to click on
children.
Point to the egg. Brilliant. Okay, let's do two more.
What?
Which word says what? See if we can do this really quickly. Can you point at the egg that says what? Well done, this one on the end. We have will, got, and what.
When.
Listen really, really carefully to this one.
When.
When. Which egg says the word when? Let's read them really carefully. So the first word here says to. Well done. The second word here, when. And the third word, went. They sound quite similar, don't they? Let's listen.
When.
Which one is it going to be then? Good job, it's this middle one here. Okay, excellent, well done. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen now that our brains are nice and warmed up, and I'll put my other screen back so that you can see what we're doing next. Okay, can you see my screen? So on your screen now, you should see a photo of a man with the name Oliver Jeffers underneath. Okay, now Oliver Jeffers is an author. And an author is somebody who, do you know what an author is? An author is somebody who writes books. But Oliver Jeffers isn't just an author, he's also an illustrator. What does an illustrator do? Now, an illustrator draws the pictures, does the artwork for the books. So quite often when you have a picture book, you might find that it's written by one person and somebody else has done the illustrations, the drawing and the artwork for it. But Oliver Jeffers is very, very talented because he does both. He does the words and the pictures. And here you can see there are 3 books of his, which are some of his most famous books. And the 3 books on the side, you can see there's one here called The Way Back Home. And you've got a little boy shaking hands with an alien on the front. You've got one underneath called Lost and Found, with a little boy in a suitcase and a penguin in an umbrella floating on some water. That looks like a very interesting book. I think we might have to have a look at that one. And then we've got one called Up and Down, where we've got the little boy up on some stilts, and we've got the penguin. I wonder if that's the same penguin. Now, if you have a look at those 3 books, is there anything that you notice about those 3 books that's the same on every one? Can you see anything that is the same about those books? Did you spot it? Can you see that the little boy, the character, the main character, is the same in all 3 of those books? That's interesting, isn't it? So we've got 3 different books, but we've got the same little boy in each of them. Now, the book that we're going to have a look at is similar to these ones, because let me show you. Can you see? He hasn't got a hat on this time, but it is the same little boy with that red and white stripy jumper. Now, there's something different about this book. This is the book that we're going to be having a look at over the next few sessions. There's something different about it, though. I wonder if any of you can spot what I've done. I've been a bit sneaky and I've covered something on the front cover up. You can see at the bottom it says by Oliver Jeffers. What's missing? The title. The title is missing from the book. I've covered it up, and if you look really carefully, you might be able to see that I've just put a blue square over. Can you see it's just here? That's where the front, where the title is. So I've been a bit sneaky and I've hidden it. Okay. And what we're going to do today is we're going to be discussing, so talking about and exploring the front cover of this new book. And we're going to be talking about what we like about it and maybe what questions we have about it, things we'd like to find out. And we're going to also be making some predictions about what the story might be about, using some clues. So a prediction just means that we're going to be having a guess about what we think the story could be, just looking at the front cover. So we're going to use the front cover to help us make some predictions about what the story might be about. Okay. So the first thing I would like you to do is I would like you to get your piece of paper or your whiteboard or whatever it is that you are writing on, okay? And I would like you, you see here I've got my whiteboard, I would like you to try and split your page into 3 sections. Can you see? 1, 2, 3. So I've actually drawn 2 lines, but I've got 3 sections. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And in the top, I would like you to draw some goggly eyes, just like you've got on your screen there. Okay, doesn't have to be a beautiful work of art, just needs to be some goggly eyes at the top of your page. In the second box, I'd like you to draw a smiley face, just like you can see on your screen. So we've got the goggly eyes, then the smiley face, and then we've got at the bottom, I would like you to do what's called a question mark, or you could do a little stick man, and he's kind of scratching his head like that because he's a little bit confused. Okay, so I would like you to do those 3 images for me, those 3 pictures, so that you're ready. Okay, so in a moment you can pause the video so that you've got time to split your page into those 3 sections with those 3 pictures, your goggly eyes, your smiley face, and your little man scratching his head. Okay, and then once you've done that, I'll explain what we're doing next. Okay, so just pause the video while you do your page. I'm going to put my page up here like that so that you can see it. Okay, and that's what you need your page to look like. Okay, so you can pause the video so that you can see it. Okay, Are you ready? Let me share my screen again. Now, hopefully you've got your page split into your 3 sections now, okay? Now, the first job that we're going to do is we're going to have a think about what we can see. So the section with your goggly eyes is going to be for things that we can see. Anything at all that you can see on that front cover. So I'll show you what I mean before you have a go by yourself. So, for example, you can see there I've got the question, what can you see? And it says, I can see. So that's the first thing I'm going to write. I can see. What can I see? I can see a boy waving. That's the first thing I can see. So I'm going to write that down. I can see a boy waving. I can see a boy waving. And can you see I've put my full stop at the end really clearly. I can see a boy waving. Now it's your turn. I want you to write down, it might be just one thing, or it might be 2 things, or 3 things, as many as you like, things that you can see on that front cover, okay? So pause the video while you do that, and then you can press play when you're ready, okay? You pause the video, and then off you go. Okay, have you written down the things that you can see, something that you can see? Maybe you've got a sentence that looks like this. I can see a boy waving. That's the one that I did first, wasn't it? I can see a boy waving. Maybe you could see a big yellow star. I can see some little white stars. Did any of you spot those? I can see a red rocket. Okay, there's lots of other things, isn't there, that you could see. I can also see that the boy is standing on a star. I can see the boy standing on a star. Okay, so I'm sure you will have had lots of other things that you might have seen as well. Just make sure that those sentences, though, have a full stop at the end. Okay, are you ready for the next section? So the next section says, what do you like? So we've said everything that we can see on the front cover. Now we need to say what we like about it. Now we might all have different ideas for this because we like different things, don't we? And that's okay. But the first thing that I'm going to do in my box with my smiley face is I'm going to write the words I like. And if I wasn't sure about the spelling, it's written right there on my board, isn't it? So I can have a look. So I like, so those are the first 2 words you're going to write. I like. What do I like about this front cover? Do you know what I like? I like that the boy is hanging on to the star. I like that he's holding on really tight. I like, let me see, that the boy is holding on tightly. Full stop. I like that the boy is holding on tightly. What else do you like? What do you like about the front cover? Maybe you like something to do with the rocket. Maybe you like something to do with what the boy's doing. Maybe it's something to do with the stars or the colours. Okay, now it's your turn again. You're going to pause the video and you're going to write me your sentence or your sentences, however many you would like to do, as many as you can, for things that you like about the front cover. Okay, so pause the video and then you do your sentences. Okay, have you got your sentences for what you like? Tell me your first one that you like. What's the thing that you like about the front cover? Can you read your first sentence to me? Great, let's see what other options we could have. So maybe you've got something like, I like the boy's stripy jumper. Do you remember we said he had a stripy jumper in all the other books as well, didn't he? That's how we knew it was the same character. I like the window on the rocket. I wish I could see in it to find out who was inside. I like that he is standing on the star. And maybe you have something completely different, and that's fine too. Okay, you ready for the next one? The next bit says, what do you wonder? Now, if you say, I wonder what? It means you've got a question about something you don't know the answer to. Okay, so the first words that I'm going to write in my bottom box there with my question mark or my little man with scratching his head going, because he's puzzled, is I'm going to write the words, I wonder. Okay, what do I wonder? What do I wonder? I wonder how he got up there. I wonder if his rocket is broken. There's lots of things that I wonder, actually. I think I'm going to go with how he got there. I wonder how the boy got there. Okay, and can you see I've put a question mark at the end to show that I'm asking a question. I wonder how the boy got there. Okay, now it's your turn. You're going to have a go at doing your own sentences for something that you wonder, something you're puzzled by or you'd like to find out. Okay, remember starting with those two words, I wonder. So you can pause the video while you do your sentences or your sentence about what you want to find out, things you wonder. Okay, so pause the video now. Okay, shall we see what we had? Okay, let's look at some options. You might have something slightly different to this, and that's okay. We'll all have something different. Maybe you've had something about, oh, whoops, I went the wrong way. Maybe I wonder who he is. Who is the little boy? I wonder how he got there. I wonder if he's stuck. The fact that he's waving like that, he looks almost like he's asking for help, doesn't he? I wonder if his rocket has broken. Is that why he's stuck up there, I wonder? Maybe you had a wondering that was a bit like that, or maybe you had one that was completely different, and that's fine. It's whatever you would like to find out. Okay, excellent job on that first bit of learning there. Now, the next bit that we're going to do is we're going to have a think about this word prediction. Do you remember at the beginning I said we were going to be doing some predicting? And a prediction, you can see here I've got a picture of a crystal ball. And crystal balls are used, people use them to tell the future, okay, to see what might happen. So when you're making a prediction, you're using, a bit like a detective, you're using some clues to work out what you think the story was about. So for example, if I said, I think this story is about a lion who escaped from a zoo, would that make sense? No, it wouldn't, would it? I wouldn't be predicting that this story would be anything to do with a lion or a zoo from what we've seen so far, because there are no clues about zoos or lions. But what could the story be about? What do you think the story might be about? Now, at this point, it's totally up to you whether you have got somebody to talk to or you talk to me, you tell me your prediction, or you might want to write your prediction down. So if you want to write your prediction down, you would use the words that are on your screen there. I predict, and that's a tricky word to spell, so the spelling is there for you. I predict. So you might say, I predict the story is about. Now, even if you're not going to write this down, it's up to you. Even if you're not going to write this down, I want you to use those words. I predict. Okay, so in a moment, you're going to tell me what you think the story is about by saying, I predict. So for example, Mrs. Francis might say, I predict that this story is about a boy who flies up into space in a rocket, but his rocket gets broken. That could be my prediction. I predict that this story is about a boy who lives in space and he can't get down. Or I predict this is a story about something else. Okay, so now it's your turn to write a prediction or tell me a prediction for what you think the story might be about using just those clues that we've seen on that front cover. So I'd like you to, in a moment, pause the video and either write your prediction down or tell me your prediction. Okay, off you go. Okay, have you done your prediction? Did you use the words I predict? Brilliant. Now, I'm going to give you something extra now, which might make you change your mind. Do you remember that there was something the whole time here that I have hidden from you? What had I hidden the whole time we've been looking at this front cover? That's right, I've covered up the title, haven't I? We haven't seen the title yet. So, would you like to find out the title of the book? Because the title of the book might make us think something different about what the book might be about. Are you ready? You can do a mini drum roll if you want. Okay, the title of the book is, let's read it together. How to Catch a Star. How to Catch a Star. Now that you know the title, does that change your mind? Now that I know the title, I'm not sure if my prediction was right or not. I don't know. How to Catch a Star. If he's trying to catch a star, maybe he's not stuck up there. Maybe it's something else. Or maybe he has flown up there, but he's trying to take the star back home with him. So now that you know the pictures from the front cover and you know the title, I want you to be having a think about what you think the story might be about. And what you can have a go at doing now is to do a quick bit of drawing, to draw some pictures to show what you think might happen in the story. Okay, so that's going to be your final job today. I'd like you to pause the video and I'd like you to draw what you think the story could be about now that we know the title is How to Catch a Star. Okay, so pause the video while you do that. Okay, great job. Some of these predictions are really interesting, aren't they? I wonder what it could be about. Well, do you know what? We're not going to find out today because we've run out of time. But we are going to have a little bit of a find out tomorrow. We're going to start reading the book tomorrow, okay? You've done a really, really great job today, Year 1, for your first online session. Very, very well done. When we see each other next time, when you do your next bit of online learning, we're going to have a look at the book and look, I'll show you. Here, can you see I've got a copy of the book here? So I've got a proper copy of the book that I'm looking at, okay? We're going to have a look at this book in a little bit more detail and we're going to start reading the book as well and find out what happens, okay? So very, very well done. And I will see you again very, very soon, all right? Take care. Bye-bye.